abo nabo era begamba bawaguza era ekibuzo ekyandibadde kiriwo kyandibadde nti senga bino byonna tebyabaddewo akantu katono kokka kenzikiriziganya n'omushana kekagamba nti ekyamazima akalulu kagudde biro standards ezisuubirwa akalulu kalina okubeera kubanga era debate nze ndoza gye twandibaddemu irrespective of political differences lwakuba nti kakati eri abantu ababiri okugamba nti nuupu yafunye kino nuupu kakati bagikubye nuupu nedda akalulu kabaddemu nuupu n'ebibiina ebirala nga bannayuganda debate gye tulina okuba nayo bwetyo bwe twagala akalulu kabeere kubanga nuupu is just a political party it's just one naye tulina okutunda ekifaananyi ekinene nti tubeera tutya mu kalulu nga tulinga bali mu military operation nga agent okupikinga DRA form olw'okuba nti omuntu gw'ovuganya w'amaanyi ne ba agent batya okugamba nti no mpikinga form za mwami Mutenyu.
So we mukoze obulungi nga bwe tulabye ennamba okweyongerako e Busoga awo mwawaguza muli mu military
era nga senga era kati point gye ntegeeza mwami Kungu nti senga tekaabadde tebyabadde operation tekwadde kuwaguza ababaka bandibadde bangi nnyo mu Busoga okusinga abo byolaba ye point
kikyoyita okuwaguza
kwegamba nti okuwangula wakati mu bugubi kyekitegeeza ekyo abantu bandibadde tuli mu kalulu akalondebwa nga Kennedy wa Green
abasinze ensumika kanso mu bifo ebyo NRM gye yabawangudde ne mwami Museveni kenyini nga presidential candidate mwami bamwina akubudde nti candidate Museveni abadde ayogera ku nsonga nnyawo bamukaago bataano kati wano singa nondebwa bino bingenda okuba nti nkola perhaps abantu bamulonze ne balonda n'ababaka aba NRM kusinzira ku bye boogera mu campaigns
sifaayo kulonda wagolonze ng'omulonze mu aze na campaign nga n'owuliriza message ye n'omulonda abantu ne babala obululu obwo buvuddemu ne bulangirirwa sifaayo kugamba nti ono wa DP ansinze esumika oba wa yero ensonga enkulu yagamba nti onoomanya otya nga eyandisinze ng'ono omusibye ng'ono abakuma akalulu obawambi ng'ono olwaleero bw'ogenda mu constituency ya Honorable Dorothy Namugga mukwano gwaffe wano era ne DRA forms tebazirina tiri alina signed DRA forms kakati gwe ng'ogamba baabasinze wano ono yasinze nga oli mu ttiimu y'omupiira nga bonna obasibye amagulu boogera nga ne referee muguze ng'ogamba nno musinze so kye ŋŋamba nti sifaayo ani yandisinze buli omu atunulire kubanga akalulu the process is as important as the result by'oyitamu bikulu nga byo ebivaamu okiraba so kakati gw'otunuulira okugamba nti naye ateebye eggoolo ensonga nti agiteebye atya kakati gwe ogamba naye ate waliwo bali abawangudde yes bawangudde naye senga tubadde nga amateeka kye gagamba nga bwe tulina okuba akalulu bwe kandibadde oba oli awo bandibadde bangi nnyo so mwami Kunguzi kyenjagala okulaba abutiriza nti myaka oluvannyuma lwa kusemateeka ono bwe tulina bwe tuti nga Uganda bwe twandibadde nga tugamba nti okugenda mu kalulu lubanga lutalo olwaleero eri abantu abakyalira ku nsiko si lwakuba nti balina omusango naye lwakuba nti nno bakoze eki bawagira omuntu omukyama
nga tuli objective nga bwe mmanyi that you very objective person mwami Museveni yeeyongedde okuganja okuva bwe twava mu kalulu akaggwa aka 2021 at least ng'osinzira ku alizaati nga bwe zazze kuba president
kankiddemu nga nkubuuza nti abantu bagambye yafunye what percentage
71
ensanvu ku 10 ezeeyiye ku nguudo nga balangidde okulangula bbaali azeewa gwe wabalabyeko nze gyensula mu kira saalabyeko n'omu simanyi Kennedy atubulidde nti gyeyasuze embuutu yasuze evuga nga bajaganya ekyo kikuddamu ekibuuzo kyo nti okuganja abantu baasanyuse nnyo ne beeyiwa mu nguudo nga babaka amalangiride mu 7 wabalabyeko gy'osula kuno kuliko eyabalabyeko ne bamwine yabalabyeko gy'asula olaba baneiba babamwine be batajaguza so ekyo kiddemu ekibuuzo kyo nti teri ayinza kukkiriza 70% nga nazo atamanyi gye ziva.
Well, ate mwami Kyagulanyi wa 25 from the other percentage ya 35.
Ekibuuzo yankizeemu nti results ezaaweereddwa
mubadde mu campaigns and you see mubadde mukola promises ebbanga lyonna nga mugamba abantu mukanoonye mukalonde mukakuume you gave that assurance mukabanje we are here now you're simply lamenting. You're saying, I can look. But you made promises. Ebbanga lino lyonna.
Kaakati mwami Kungu gwe nga munnamawulire. Walabye ekizibu kyonna n'akalulu kano. Bye mbadde njogera bigambye nti ekisooka twagenda mu nga tusuubira nti wajja kubeerawo minimums waliwo ebimu bye tusuubira bibadde okukola naye nga wajja kubeerawo byogamba nti tebiyinza nakugwa wansi wa bino ne mutuuka wansi ne mutuuka ku ttale center nga mugjeeyo mukakuumye ne DRFM zammwe muzirina ekyakulabirako ekyo nkugambye kati okulabirako ekyange nti mukakuumye paka ku tale center kitegeeza nti eri wansi yonna muvuddeyo mu kaleesi oli n'alangirira birala gwe tekikukyusaamu kubuuzaamu nti naye lwaki naye gwe otunuulira kyagamba nti naye mwayogera kino mwayogera kakati gwe oli ku victim gwe omookinga.
No. No, I'm simply asking you to account.
What to account for what?
Abantu kanso George Musi banoonya akalulu. Ne bakanoonya. Nga mukalonde. N'okukalonda tebakalonze kubanga bw'otunuulira voter turnout. That did not happen even.
Era gwe questioninga lwaki turnout. Kakati kankubuuze. Wabuuzizzaako nti mwami byabakama gwe.
No, mbuuza gwe abadde ayogera abadde agamba.
Same line.
Yes.
Mwatugamba mutugenda kukozesa BVVK machines. Teri n'emu yakoze gwe tekikuyigula taa kubuuza nti bannange.
No, that would be a discussion of another day. Ku kino.
Si nkulu.
Ku kino.
Kubanga nkulu ku kikanoonya oyogedde ku turnout. Oyogedde ku turnout. Turnout lwaki yazze bwekyo. Nti tekikuyigula ttama kugamba nti bannange twaspendinga sente billions ne tuteeka mu buuma. Tewali kamu wadde akamu akaakoze ne mugaa tubuvuddeko ne musasula ba operators babiri okubeera ku gundi. Kakati gw'ogamba nti mukalonde lwaki tebakalonze. Twandibale twebuuza lwaki over 10 million people abali ku register tebazze kulonda. Turnout nebeera nga actually sikikiza na chikiza nti yabuze 52%. Naye lwokuba nti figures abadde zirina okuba cooked
Well, njagala kuta Kennedy, but when we say,
yes, sir.
I've had amalobozi agamba nti performance ya candidate Kyagulanyi oba oliawo n'ababaka bammwe abamu mu bitundu ebimu yazze bwetyo because your campaigns tezaali based on issues temwalina nsonga za simba zisobola kumatiza abantu kubeesiga mu kalulu. How would you respond to such voices?
Amaloboozi ago gaba geetaaga kutereezaamu ndowooza yaago kubanga abantu abamu ebintu bitegeera mu ngeri ya njawulo. Bw'oba ogamba nti nno teri based on issues, twateeka issues zaffe mu buwandiike. Amaloboozi ago be gaba tegaali tegasobola kusoma. Ne tuteekayo ka bullet. Linda Kungu kanzeemu ensonga. Ndeka nziremu Kungu. Kungu ogambye ombuuza ekibuuzo ng'oyagala nkiddemu. Kipapula. Kale Kungu manyi oyina ansa. Manyi amaloboozi gali mu mutwe gwo kakati kangaddemu. Ekisooka bw'ogamba nti teri based on issues, twateeka issues mu buwandiike ne tuzisimplifyingira eri amaloboozi agatamanyi kusoma bigambo bingi mu bullet form tuziteeka mu 11 points abatamanyi kusoma nti amaloboozi ago agatamanyi issues. Kakati issues bali baagala tuzibaterere emoji oba mu cartoon form basobole obitegeera amangu. Bingamba aga amaloboozi ge ngamba kakubaganga nkugambye nti anyone who says they're not based on issues, actually bacandidates bangi abali mu kalulu bateeka issues zaabwe mu buwandiike. Nono ndabye alina akatabo katambula nako. Kakati osobola okugamba nti we disagree those issues, tetukanya bagamba naye amaloboozi gonna agamba nti wasn't based on issues baba beetaaga kusomesa mu ngeri nnyangu ate mpolampola bakwate.
Thank you, sir. Mwami Kennedy Mutenyo. Yes. Kibuuzo kye kimu. Ebitundu ebimu tulaba NUP amaanyi geeyongeddemu. Ebitundu ebimu especially ku babaka ba parliament. Bali ebitundu ebirala tulaba nti baakola eddala bubi. Tulaba NRM yalinnye. What explains all this?
First of all, njagala nakutwala omukisa guno nze nabadde mu Lubaga.
Lubaga ki?
Lubaga South. Ku Uganda Matters High School wennondera. Naye bwe twategedde nti obuuma tebukola, abakulu ababadde awo baakubidde returning officer w'e Lubaga. Era nze omu ku 10 abaasooseewo. Mukyala Grace Najjoba ne Mwami Kasakya owa Kampala. Era ntufuna information mangu ne tutandika okulonda. Naye nga sinaddamu kibuuzo kyo, njagala tukkiriziganye nti figa ezivudde mu kalulu argument bw'eba tuyamba tuzikozesa. Bw'eba tetuyamba tetwagala kuzikozesa. Tusooke tukozese ekituufu nti tukkiriza ebyavudde mu kalulu. Bwe tukkiriza mu byavudde mu kalulu mu bubi bwabyo, kampa ekyokulabirako ekibuuzo ekibadde wano. Bwe twagala okupimira obuwanguzi ku bantu ababadde ku street nga basanyuka, naye ng'okimanyi nti tumaze myezi ng'abantu babatiisa okutya mwekuli ne bw'owangula obadde nze ku Saturday mpita wano katannemerera okujja kusanyuka so kati tosobola kukozesa ky'abantu kubeera ku street nga bajaganya ng'ate batya. Kyova olaba ssaawa 12 tulinga abobbo tetu ffenna tuli mu nju. Nze I will tell you olwamaze nazze waka nentula ku NBS nentandika okulaba ekigenda mu maaso kwe kufuna message nti bakongeddeyo saawa mmeka 11 sente ku simu tezivaako era natambuza bigere okuva ewaffe nengenda ku popopo nentegeeza bali nenzira eno nenzira eri nga twagala balonde ekikulu kiri nti ebyabaddewo sijja kugamba nti byabadde 100% naye mukulu Musisi byayogera mukulu Bamwine ne Charles bye boogera biraga nti twetaaga dialogue nti twetaaga kusonyiwagana nti twetaaga okukyusa amateeka g'ebyokulonda nti twetaaga okukyusa obukulembeze emirembe ye cooperation agreement ya DP NRM buli omu gye yali avumirira naye kati ogiraba nti if we don't sit and talk waliwo bye tulina okukyusa for example n'ogamba nti kunguba ku nominati nze district yewammwe returning officer ku nominaties naye ate bwodda mu electoral commission ne bakugjawo kati etteeka ng'eryo lyetaaga likyuke naye bwe twagambako nti bannange electoral reforms mwe babaguze mwe kiki Mpuuga bwe yali leeta ti bye mugamba tetwagala kuwulira bw'otunulira akalulu k'abavubuka kali it was not that NRM beat NUP kuba eyo yali debate nedda it was that lwaki bwe tubanga abantu abasinga obungi mu Uganda about 73% bavubuka lwaki balina ba MP batano boka therefore the voice of the youth mu parliament teririyo okitegedde so sakyero lwaki woman MP alondebwa omusajja lwaki bw'obeera youth naawe tokeera it is very easy tokeera ne bagamba youth yew'emyaka 3 n'okudda wansi you don't need to do a new youth register omuvubuka jekka box muvubuka identity card emulaga nti ali 30 and below adult suffrage muvubuka so tulina ebintu bombuuza was it 100% no tulina okubikyusa nga twogerezeganya
obuwanguzi bwa candidate Museveni butegeeza another 5 years for the NRM
yes
for the NRM
yes.
and Mr. Museveni himself. So,
yes.
Mwabavuganya muli kuki. What is it that you're not doing right? Mapesa kige mutanyiga.
Nonda.
Kede dali omu kubavuganya. Ono ye yakulya kachuke byokuna mu Democratic Party.
Democratic Party kuvuganya Museveni. Ogambe walonze Museveni kati wamuvuganyizanga omulonda kakati ninga abalala abakoze protest ne batalonda so kakati ekikulu ekiriwo obuuziza ekibuuzo nti kinziremu onambuzi
mbuuza nti kiki mutakola nga bali kudovuganya
ekisooka kikino President Museveni atufuza emyaka 40 agenda kwongeramu ffe baafuze lwaki atufuzaana kubanga essaawa bwe yatuuka PFF eteekewo presidential candidate emuvuganye n'etya okitegedde
ne
DP yo neegamba okuteeka wali tuteeke wano era nakugamba wano wampitako nti after elections tujja kulaba oba decision ya DP okudda eno wansi yali nnungi era njagala nkukakase obwedde ombuuza lwaki ndi musanyufu ewaaba lw'omushana erukunjiri twasembayo okuteekawo bakandidate mu constituency eyo mwali Lwanyalale n'omulala wa DP 45 years ago ebushenyi twabadde n'omuwala bamuyita Eunice Kyabamagara Igara East twasembayo yeyo Professor Tassis Kabwejere 1980 n'awalala kati bwe tubanga tusobodde ffe tugamba tuzimba era nagamba tewali muntu kibi yes
military assault in 1986
kubanga feddipi batandika girumba mu 60s tuzze batulumba tukola counter attack kaakati mbadde nkola statement wano neŋŋamba nti ku bibaddewo byonna ekibiina ekisinze okuteeka obwesige mu byabakama ne President Museveni okutegeka akalulu kano kibadde kya Nuupu kubanga kibadde kigamba abantu mu Kalonde mu Kakuume mu Kabanje bagenda kutulangirira ne bateekawo ne transition committee kati okukola ebyo byonna you must have confidence in the organization okitegedde kubanga kati bw'oteekawo transition committee ke kakiiko akagamba okuva ku bukulembeze bwa kkungu okudda ku bulala baateekawo akakiiko remember baali batugambye nga byabakama ye Ssentebe president ye Museveni tetujja kwenyigira mu kalulu kaakati okukyuka ne bajja okkenyigiramu kitegeeza baalina obwesige mu kalulu kano you cannot come back ng'omaze okuwaayo confidence yo nange ne mummatiza nti bagenda balangirira byabakama atuule wali erubo gye yabadde erweza nti omuwanguzi y'ono therefore buli muntu alina kya contributing mu kulaga ekiriwo obuwanguzi bwa President Museveni ani abadde tabusuubira lwaki ogenda n'ogamba abantu nti ŋŋenda kuwangula nga walemu okuteekawo ba MP mu constituency ezisukka mu 240 okitegedde then n'ogamba kati sooka olabe n'ogamba nti ku lunaku lwa nomination olusembayo 23 October Nuupu yalemu okusimbawo ababaka mu bifo 218 ekitegeeza tebaabaddeyo na agent tebaabaddeyo ne system tebaabaddeyo na structure then bano ba mature entry bano nabo ne babagattako n'abalala okitegedde kaakati bw'obanga kumpi 50% ey'eggwanga tolinaayo ky'otaddeyo naye n'ogamba omuwagizi tumutwala agenda don't you think nti bali baabadde ne message yaabwe nze 2021 nabuuzanga nti bw'oba obadde mu government 30 years show us what you have done naye gwe nojja n'osuubiza abantu empewo n'osuubiza ki then n'okomawo nti bakubbye wayingirayo nga tomanyi nti you cannot place 529 MPs you can only do 48% ate oyagala kugamba bantu nti tugenda kuwangula so were people not confused
katujje ku NBS kwoli katumbulemu katono tujje
Be classic by turning every wash into freshness with Classic Detergent Powder, the high-performance washing solution for all your laundry needs. Toughest on stains, gentle on your hands, and keeps your clothes looking fresh and bright. Enjoy the long-lasting freshness of lavender and lily fragrances. Classic Detergent Powder is affordably priced, giving you unbeatable quality at a price you will love. Customer formulonji, byara mu class ng'okozesa sabuni waffe ow'obuwunga Classic. Genda ku dduuka lyonna erikuli okumpi oba supermarket osabe Classic Detergent Powder. Classic Detergent Powder, experience a burst of freshness. Distributed by Chopper General Enterprises, located at shop number 3, Rafik Building, Chikovo, Kampala.
Teko mu kaweefube waffe owalinnya step leero ffenna tulabe nti buli lugendo luggwa bulungi tusange ku mitimbagano omanyi nkyukakyuka gy'osobola okuleeta ng'okozesa hashtag yaffe hashtag linnya step.
Fellow Ugandans, especially the youth, as we head into 2026, let hope lead us. This country is ours. Love it, protect it, and put Uganda first. In the days ahead, speak kindly, act with restraint, and stand for you.
Puga, Semuju Ibrahim Nganda, Abdu Katuntu, Amuanga Chivumbi, Abedi Bwanika, Theodore Chikubo, Medad Lubega Segona, Asumani Basalidwa, kuba ministers, Nalavie, Honorable Beatrice Atimanywa, Mama Mavida, Oina David Bahati, Oina Florence Namboze, Oina Frederick Ngobi, Oina Hamson Oboa, Olina Beta Mongi, Olina Minister Moriko Kaduchu, Olina John Muru, Olina John Murumba, Okvebusia, Olina Okeroriem, quite a number of them. Chichechi Nyonyola, Ogwa Kwaba Mukubanene, more opposition, the government Kenyini.
What the garden you get the Kubanena. Oba banene simanyi wanga banene tebasobola kugwa naye waliwo obulimba muto wange bwatadde mudiru badde njagala nsooke nzije kuzikiriza ekisooka simanyi ddi muto wange bwe yayingira ekibiina kya NOP naye waliwo olunaku twali ku radio y'ebulanga awo twali tuyingira mu gakyali mabaga balinga bafuluma parliament yaffe abaana ba NUP ne basisinkana mukulu Besigye bweru awo ne bamugamba nti kuva olwaleero tukwagala mu bintu by'opposition negamba nti lwaki gwe n'oli mwena bwe bamu kuva olwaleero tutwagala baga nti ffe kati ku luno n'oyekabyakabya nti bakubba ne bakabyakabya nti bakwe abasirikale Nibagandi ffe tumazeeko ezo embeera tuzimanyi era tuddamu era waliwo munnamawulire yava wano n'amulumba kasanga ati awo namubuuza naye lwaki omwana tumuwagira Besigye n'abuuza omwana muwagire kiki kyakoze muwagire nedda omwana bagamba tumuwagira naawe abakulu bano baasuubiza nti embeera eri mu byobufuzi bya Uganda bagimanyi tiwaliwo kibalemesa kukola ki beera mukakamu nze nawandiise naawe beera mukakamu wandiike so bano embeera bagamba nti buli mbeera yonna era kibagobera Besigye mu ebyo embeera yonna bajja nga bakola ki nga bagimaze n'olwekyo essaawa eno tosobola kujja wano ate n'ogamba munange baatubbye ate munange baatukutte kubanga ebyo mwagobera Besigye ekyokubiri abantu bo mwabasuubiza ki omuntu bw'omugamba nti mba nga nyidde mu buyinza PDM ngenda kugijjawo bubaka bw'omuwadde
naye walabako ku 11 priority areas zaabwe ze bassa mu biwandiiko
nakugambye okusoma kuzibuwalira
ebintu bibiri ekirungi nagambye nti abalonzi tebasoma nti beetaaga imagination
n'abamu abajja ku TV tebasoma
so kati nze nkuyamba nti bubaka President Museveni agamba nti abaana b'omwavu n'omugaga bateekwa kusomera bwereere n'agamba nti omwana amaze university
walaba ku nteekateeka gye balina eri
anti eyo kwekyo bali balina ki kwekyo bali balina kwekyo abaana kusomera bwereero kwekyo bali balina ki
bagiwumbawumba ne bagiteeka mu
nze nkuyambye nze kankugire omusanvu gwa Museveni naawe mpe musanvu gwa bano President Museveni nakugamba nti buli maka tuteekwa gayamba gafune seed capital gave mu bwavu kwekyo balina programu ki President Museveni nakugamba nti abaana ba university bamaze emyaka ebiri nga tebakola tubateereku ensimbi basobole kufuna kakapito beyiye nabo basobole kubaawo kwekyo basuubiza ki President Museveni akugamba nti abanaddiini abakulembeze b'ensikalano nabo babeera mu bantu ate nabo tebalina baagala kubaawo nabo tebateereko omutima gwabwe abakulu bano basuubiza ki President Museveni n'agamba nti byonna nga wadde bigenda kukolebwa n'okujja wano kuyigo nga twogere security y'eggwanga eteekwa nga weeri bakugamba nti bayingira wano ebyokwerinda budget bagisala so abannayuganda mbaga naye n'omukulu agambye nti ffe tutufaayo ani awangula oba tawangudde kasete ffe tufaayo kubanga obubaka bwotuwa onatutwarawa so we are very concerned and serious about that. Let's turn out okulonda awokya abantu balonze batono mwami Kyagulanyi yabagamba nti n'omunampa obululu 9 ku buli 100 tebagenda kundangirira kati waki omuntu alina n'obudde kugenda kulonda.
Okay. Thank you.
Lindako katono, lindako nze mpandiise ebintu bino. Ekyokubiri, why no celebrations? Kati okujjako nga tobadde mu Uganda buli kiseera nga tubana bagujjawo bino bya social media bakugambye buli muntu wayinare muwali bagenda kumutema omutwe obadde tobiraba olwaleero President Museveni akugambye gangs zabadde zakutandika at spontaneous batandika omulundi gumu buli wamu kati abantu bagende mu celebration batibwe. So where there is intelligence and information abantu after all bamaze kuwangula naye bano kibeerabira nti biboogera byonna tubifuna. I can assure you abantu ba NUP 10 tebasobola kubeerawo nga tuwali mukaaga abatalina mawulire gabatuwa. Therefore bw'oba nga tolina obubaka bw'owadde abantu obubazaamu essuubi tolina bw'osuubira kuwangula. Now
seconds 10 ngende wa rumshon
kikunyiziza
akadde kagenda mu amini.
Okay,
agenda
n'olwekyo njagala kusaba
ndemwe kibuuzo mu seconds za
seconds 10
anaye akijjukira
mu seconds 10
abanene bano
ababogamba nti
ne ba minister
abogamba
abayitirivu bwe bati
lwaki ogamba ba minister lwaki tombuza Mwanga Kivumbi
ntandikire ku ba minister
lwaki tombuza Mwanga Kivumbi
asinga kumanya nupu
lwaki tombuza Semuju
oyina Hamson Obuwa
lwaki tombuza Tamaguzi
oyina Betty
lwaki tombuza Tamaguzi
oyina Beta Mongi
lwaki tombuza Segona lwaki tombuza Mpuuga
musajja watu musaasire ekyo jako obutuleno obagenda ku media center.
You see, let me tell you.
So government ekoze ennyo nga bw'ogamba ba minister bano baali badde ba minister bano bwe bakuwadde
kankubuulire ono omukulu akugambye ebisoga beeyongedde mu namba. Go to the Google now. President Museveni yawangudde Busoga wadde yaluuzinze ba MPs naye yawangudde at presidential level yawangudde. Last time Kyagulanyi yawangula Busoga. This time President Museveni yamuwangudde. So tuba twogera ensonga zino abantu tubabulire nga mazima. Tulina bwoganta Busoga wagiruzinze 37%, 35% wavudde n'ojja ku 24%.
So Mwami Museveni akola yekka oba akola ne ba minister bano?
Kati
Mwami Museveni ng'omuntu nga ba minister babasikayo perhaps lwabutakola.
Mwami Kungo yerabidde nti nze nkyali mu nkola yaffe eri eno mwantwala butwazi kigambo individuality wakimanya wadde President Museveni waali wadde NRM y'amaanyi naye naawe ng'omuntu olina ebibuuzo byo.
Koyanza Mwami Rumshana. Yes. Sobola okujja mukati. Maybe Gwany ananziramu ekibuuzo ekyo.
Let me look at the trend. Eggwanga lyetaaga opposition.
Lyetaaga? Opposition.
Eggwanga
naye ng'eyina gyetulaza.
Eggwanga lyetaaga opposition. You need an alternative view.
Yep.
Kiyamba eggwanga kukula. Otherwise wano bandabaddewo n'abantu ab'endowooza emu. By 1996 abaali mu opposition eri official bali 25 ku buli 100. kyakula somewhere in the middle mukulu Museveni nakka below 60%. There was a possibility officially asobola n'okubeera below 50%.
Charles katono nnyo kantereze mu kudoboozi lyo abantu basobola okuba nga bakulira bulungi. Ng'ogedde akadakiika nga munteze eddoboozi lya mwami Rumushana.
Nze mbadde ndowooza nti onyiigidde.
Nedda tofaayo.
Kale kati nze kimbadde nsaba mwami Musika kati mukulembeze elected. Nze kimbadde musaba ekigambo ky'okuzimba obwana lukalala mu bawagizi bammwe mbeegayiridde muyambe abaana abo baleme kufiirwa obulamu bwabwe baleme n'okwonoona ebiseera naye ekyo nakyo nga kiri awo mu Kampala walimu omuyimbi oba yali ani yayimba nti mu Kampala buli omu asiba ekiwaani kiwaani buli omu asiba ekiwaani n'olwekyo okusiba ebiwaani abalonzi okusiba ebiwaani abalonzi nakyo kibi.
Thank you. Mwami Rumushana katukomye
kakati in 1996 descent yali 25%. Batujukira NRA okwatira obuyinza in 1986 yakolagana ne descent. Yakolagana n'abajiwakanya. And it has been the policy of the NRA okukolagana n'abajiwakanya. Kyobalaba n'abayekera Western Euro Bank front it is buying n'amaje. So awakanya taba mulabe. But debate yandibadde nti can we have qualitative leap in opposition? Nga opposition it's not supposed to be a bracket. So manage akwa progression of opposition from 25% yagendera almost 40%. Mukulu Museveni yakka wansi wa 60%. Now, ekizibu Uganda ate kyefuna. Opposition bwe shiftinga kuva mu northern Uganda neyigira mu central. Because base ya opposition yali northern naye nga ate eri mu military. Opposition bwe shiftinga base nejja mu Buganda yagwa mu mikono ya Suubi, which was DP. Kale ne bava mu DP naye nga balwanagana bokka. So you have got your candidate Mao ate gw'olwanyisa. Naye omulwanyisa kumuteeka kwandi Sebagala. You remember, there was a time when bagala kuteekawo Sebagala as head of state. Now, so these migratory politicians babadde ku age nga bagamba bwe tunaafunayo omuyimbi, bwe tunaafunayo omukubi w'ebikonde, bwe tunaafunayo omunywi w'enjaga, then tujja kufunawo mu ghetto. So it ceased being descent on an issue. That's why you see population etayina kukanya atedda wa Museveni. Nega aka tugende eri tuleme kukanyizaayo. Let's go and debate from there. Kato ina tumukunde is an MP. Oyina mama Mbabazi go forward is back. You get, it's not that they are back. It's that waliwo issue get you know kukola get tutakanya nawe. The good thing is that Mukulu Museveni awuliriza. You get now kakati wo tulina musisi yawangu dani. Nothing. Because that was a base area of the opposition of dissent.
So just got denga chechimu opposition.
No, not yeah, instead yajeyo li aleme ku Rwanda. Instead of semuju kugenda Kisola alwane, kugenda Kanunga alwane, ate yamujeyo because yali alina okugenda into defense. Chechimu ne Segona chechimu na boyita amanya amanene. So oyina okulwana Museveni at the same time oyina okulwana nandi. Oyina okulwana ne kakati mawo aze abera at national level. Akumobilizing ra acholi ojegate kwa at national level ate gwo mukuba na wae kale kambi kulekere. And who can associate with them? Nze mbulira gwe kungu ndo sobola ku associating no yagama mas embuli teziri mu masasi. You tell me that me Romshana I should be with Namboze. Tugende on an issue ngaye kurara agenda gamba abasirikale bemulaba emundu teziri mu masasi. Ayina masasi yo mutulumbe. Really? Can you go there? So now Besigye inherited the opposition eri gye twali tulina traditional but bwaginheritinga ate naye n'agenda mu kulwanyisa ababe because literally Besigye yamala omugisha muntu. So now you can't be celebrating nti mugisha muntu yaweza 1% when mugisha muntu was a president of an organization that had 52 to 53% of polling agents in Uganda. You can't. I would destroy him Besigye. Besigye here nga destroying another Rama5. Why did they send them M7? Kagana Rama5 na you know kumudezo mukazi wa yana M7. You get. So by the time the migratory birds of Subi, Bampuga Nabalala, Nemuanga Chivumbi, Bachiwade bano, I had to say, Nareko family again, I'm telling you, it was too late. So they've destroyed the opposition. Now we have to reorganize. That together to discussing in a million kumizino. Is it muchitabo? What do we do? How do we have an alternative conversation? Yes. Should we have PDM kugomborola or should we have PDM ku village? You get, because you need that debate. Mukuru Museveni wabagamba amafuta gagende ku railway gagende mu investment in education. Why can't we have an alternative view? That no, we think amafuta gagende mu kugula ettaka in New York. Obana fe tugule Greenland. Yes, you need that. You cannot have a mono ideology. Nugante gwanga rigenda kubeerawo.
There are alternatives.
They have to have a conversation on the alternative. Okay. But it must be qualitative, it must be disciplined, it must be focused.
So who should take the lead?
You see there has been a debate on withdrawal. Ngabwe ngambi ababetraying Uganda were this Subi group. Chovala Northern Uganda yagamba why? Kale, bwemba musazeewo mutyo, kale mugende. Because how can you spend 5 to 10 years ng'ovuma mao? If it's very useless one, kale gwikola wo. But also 24 hours olikuma wo, wabato olumbye mawo, olumba de mutenyi wanyu. Naye bamulwano nga bamulumba bagala kukuba mutenyi. Kachoraga okay kale kambe balekere. Kambe kangere nkubira Museveni nga munnaba because mumpita wa Museveni.
So do you think that discussion ejja kubeerawo mu kisanja kino?
Nkugambe eggwanga lyetaaga.
We need it, but
you see bomba muyino mukade. There was a time nga akulira nyumba yaffe was my father. Taliwo. So you have Mr. Museveni giving you some infrastructure. Or in the army is there, you have a state that is stable, is there. Or in an economy that has peaked, no doubt about that. You have challenges in foreign policy, it's there. You have so katwaga chicho. Chicho, what happens? Because if you are not very careful, among these 10, abali vigilant, ababivudemu 10 within NRA, ababirimu 10, you can end up with another gang. Inge ina ame, inge ina state. Atufane gange eno aretu bene gange eri because you cannot tosobala kuba ne time ngo ina baruzina nga babivamo. Ngo ina ono the former governor Bank of Uganda.
Tumuseme.
Chigundu.
Chigundu, yeah.
Nti Chigundu bwaba bivamo ani abitwala walukaga. Really, you get you so you have talent on the withdraw. Nkatuntu abavude mbaye MP can't manage secretariat. Tasobola kubeera mu think tank. You get agenda kubeera mu yanyama mu yagonja mu yabikidi. So the Uganda we lose talent. Ntikati semujunganda because bagenda kumulumba siganta bakomyawo kati. No,
bagenda kumulumba tegenda.
You will see atikati internet ezeo tubadde mu kiwumulo abavumi. They were on good news on when Nakawate na yete yazi tuyinza okuwumulako. But baina gange izivuma you know it's really a disaster. It's extremely very distressing. Kakati no sanga tuyina abana because bamwine atwita the other day abadampita kumbaga. I know mwana
yawandise kitabo.
Yes, I know mwana katugwagenda okulekera ebyobufuzi. Kati batuna bagamba whom do we emulate? Whom do we? Why? Because the only thing sort of handing over now is gangsters, is hooliganism, is that you have got a victory speech of a president nga yogera kwe member of parliament leading a gang of pangers and being wiped out.
What?
That's victory speech for the next 20, 30, 40 years. We have a challenge.
Thank you. Muganda wange musi.
Ekimu kuzindira ku program zino kusitula mutindo gwa debate kuzijja ku bozi. Kakati
nabo gisobola.
Obujja tugamba omanyi muganda wange Soka Kennedy Mutenyu mukulu wange. Mbadde mugamba no mu
DP muno.
Yalonze NRM.
Omweganyi.
Kanjogere gwo bino buli mukulu awumbe mbadde mugamba nti alina okusalawo omanya egonya esobola okubeera mu mazzi esobola okubeera ku lukalu naye kaakati bwe bwabeerawo akabaga k'ebisolo by'oku lukalu gonya yagala okujja bwabeerawo okunnyanja yagala okujja kati Kerere alina okusalawo agambye nti nze nvuganya Museveni naye ate namulonze asigaleko kaakati alina okusala kyova olabanga bw'ogamba nti oba olwokuba tulina ba MPs kaakati kitegeeza akalulu tekabalibwanga 1+1 nakuwadde ekyokulabirako nti mu 2021 okugeza results mwambi abakamazi yatuwa zaalaga nti tuwangudde districts 9 ezikola Busoga nga tulina omubaka omu kakati kitegeeza wandiwangudde otya Kamuli nga tewulinayo mubaka so kubanga Kamuli twagiwangula kutwangula Mama Museveni naye tetulinayo mubaka so nze sirowooza nti akawulu kakolebwa kubanga ni Mama Museveni adde omubuuza bwewagamba nti babbi akalulu kuwalina ababaka bameka bowangudde mu 8 ng'ogenda mu nsiko nga tulinayo mubanga naawe constituency yo so nze sirowooza nti akalulu kabalibwa bwe katyo naye ensonga enkulu nga mmaliriza kubanga nsaagala nnyo ku debatinga mu box za NUP NRM kyaa kubanga abantu abamu debate yaabwe eri mu box akalulu ke twabaddemu awo twagala okubeera ng'eggwanga nti even after 5 years it doesn't matter personalities aba luyinza osanga 5 years nga bamwino nali mu opposition olwali kuba kaakati twagala kubeera awo nga tugamba tugenda mu kalulu nga bakandidates beekwese nga bakandidates bawambiddwa kitwagala okubeeramu ng'eggwanga ye yandibadde debate enkulu nze ensonga yange enkulu nti eggwanga lino liri bigger than political parties era political parties nga bwe tulabyeko zijja ne zigenda waliwo nezibeera awo nga negamba ffe twagala kubeerawo okusurvivinga naye nti twagala kubeera nga tugamba tugenda mu kalulu nga tuvuddemu ng'abantu bawambiddwa olwokuba beesimbawo.
Kennedy, anyway, njagalo but council, mwami Mutenyu yayogeddeko waliko because era waliwo wabuze ekibuuzo ekyo wano nti council musi baali basuubira ki nga bagenda mu kalulu kano. Honorable Mathias Mpuuga bwe yagezaako okuleeta ennongoosereza mu mateeka agafuga ebyokulonda mu ssemateeka wa Uganda, he didn't get support from you.
That is misleading. That is misleading kubanga debate ya reforms abantu kye bakotinga ekyampuuga kye bagamba ekya support yali Mpuuga akyalina mu NUP. Mpuuga wavudde mu NUP n'aleeta ne bill ku floor ya parliament. NUP yagiremesa okujja. Naye
did he get your support as a party?
NUP yagiremesa okujja kungoli munnamawulire kyena okubuuza NUP kakati yafuna support ya DP yafuna FDC. Nkyengamba bw'oleeta enkola ya parliament bw'oba osabye leave ejje ku floor ya parliament NUP si yefuga parliament. Lwaki tobuuza lwaki speaker yagaana lwaki kito kibuuza ekyokubiri
I think lwaki baboogerako kumwe like that council muli ku record nga muga nti
ani ali ku record
please ekizibu ekiriwo saawa eno nga muga nti ekizibu si mateeka
and that is the point
ekizibu si mateeka
kaakati eriyo etteeka erigamba nakugambye nabadde ntandika debate eno gyogamba nti njagala nnyo debate ogijja mu box etteeka ligamba mu byabakama nti bw'oba eriteeka eririwo already ligamba nti bw'oba otaalinga later results eziva ku district takikola kaakati gwogamba nongoosereza kyeyetaagisa ku ekyo etteeka liragira abasibe n'abali mu diaspora kooti yalagira dda balonde gavumenti emaze emyaka 5 tekiteeka mu nkola so ng'ogamba tuleete reform endala kyeŋŋamba nti n'amateeka agaliwo tegateekebwa mu nkola agaliwo already before talk about reforms eriyo etteeka erigamba nti ebitongole by'ebyokwenda bye bijjawo boxing nga zimaze okulondebwa.
Well, Kennedy, Mwami Museveni yawangudde, that is now done. Sinda kyakubakanyako birowoozo. Candidate we gwalonze yawangudde. what does his victory mean for you ng'abali ku doluvuganya government but ne gwanga lyennyini emyaka gino etaano egiddako?
Ekisooka waliwo nekyewabuuzizza nti waliwo hope. Kati bwe tutandikiranga mu Kampala wano ku lutalo lwa bano ne Lukwago. Hope mweri ku Beatrice Mao. Hope weri. Ekyokubiri naawe nja kugamba odde wa kungu addaawo kuba otandise okufuuka moderator. Ekyokubiri lwomushana kyabadde ayogera. Tunuulira Northern Uganda yakomezaawo abantu nga Nobert Mao, Professor Kamuntu, Gerard Karuhanga. Wano betwandirowoozezza ate bo baakubye bakube ne babafulumya. So kati obuwanguzi weebuli, but olaba ekiriwo tulina okutuula tukakkane tuputinga Uganda first. Tugambe nti Musisi abuuzizza akalulu ke twabadde nako ke twagala. The answer is no. But how do we improve it? By sitting down. Ne tutalowooza nti Nuupu yokka yeri mu struggle, abalala tebali mu struggle. Kubanga ekyo kibaddewo. Ekirala kyayogedde. Okimanyi nti mu parliament George Jolaga, mu parliament leader of opposition Nuupu babadde baleeta position zaabwe nga tebeebuuziza ku bibiina ebirala. Okimanyi? It is on record. Bafulumya ne bafulumya economic plan, their response to the budget, tebeebuuziza ku bibiina birala. Ne bakola ekyabwe. Actually, ekimu ku bizibu bye tufunye mu opposition okujjako nga bamusisi bayingidde parliament bwe bukulembeze bwa Nuupu ku lead of opposition. Nti mu kifo ky'okuzimba babadde bakola ki ate balwanyisa opposition yennyini. Kyova olaba mukwano gwa Charles yakugamba nti wano mu Buganda nga toyimiriddeewo ku umbrella ezo constituencies zonna nkalu neye yagendeddemu.
Ani mukwano gwa
Muwanga Kivumbi siwe yali ayogera. So kaakati whereas nze nva ngamaliriza weewaawo nze nva mu Eastern Uganda. Whereas aba Eastern Uganda bakomyawo bwino bwongo, mu Western bakomyawo bwongo, mu Northern bakomyawo bwongo, wano mu Central Uganda abalina okutukulembera. Singa temukyusa byabufuzi byammwe ng'asinga okuziika, asinga okuvuma, asinga okuyisaamu eggaali anti nkugambye kati George Musisi wuunaze bw'anaatuuka eri kati mu Nuupu endowooza y'abamusisi the moderate
actually by the for your information ewaka hindo tafiire bw'omukuba bagikutulamu bibiri otafiire n'akomawo kaakati bano basobola okugikutulamu bibiri
musisabeerewo ne Ssemujuna yabeerewo.
Kaakati nga maliza ensonga nti mu bano ffe tuli mu bukulembeze bwa Nuupu nga leader of opposition. Ekizibu kye balina mu bibiina byaffe byonna ne mu DP nawa extremists bannalukalala bangi. Kati tulina okulwana okulaba nti bannalukalala tebatusinza ndowooza mu kibiina. Okitegedde? Kati bano bamusisinze ensanyuse Musisi bwajja n'abalala ne bajja bandibadde bagatta ku balala okutandika okukozesa ki n'ekigambo kino nga mmaliriza mukyuse ekigambo kya foot soldier. Omuntu talowooleza mu bigere, omuntu akozesa bwongo, mukomyewo obwongo. Tudde wali bw'onoolaba Mao wali, Musisi ali wano, Professor Kamuntu ali wali, n'abalala nga boogera, then to debate awatali kutuuka ku debate ne tukola gwa kufuluma parliament kwekandaga.
Tusuubire mu kisanja kino mu okwongera okukolagana mu M7.
Ffe tutunuulira Uganda. Ffe DP yatandikawo 54. President Museveni teyaliiwo. Kubanga singa ffe tetuliiwo nti twajja kujjawo Museveni, DP yajja kutereeza Uganda. Kaakati singa bwe kiba bano abali ku kintu kye bayita regime change, otyo President Museveni n'amala avaawo. Ffe tuli ku putting Uganda first okugitereeza. Kaakati President Museveni singa God forbid singa ku makyata zukuka olwo ebizibu bya Uganda nga bigwawo ajja kuzuka naye ebizibu bya Uganda nga bigwawo. Kaakati obadde okola campaign bw'otuuka nze babadde bankute mpisa eno mpisa eri nga muteekako abayimbi nga bavuganya ku mazina, omuntu oli gwe wazza okwogerera mwakugjeemu ki
Kongo leader of opposition yebuuza ku bibiina birimu opposition
ati DPCM nantongo tabadde mufugondi naye mubadde muwandiikira ebibiina musisi togenda
tuvuganya ku
no but listen to him
yes
ogenti leader of opposition awandiikira bibiina biri kudavuganya government but DP kyekimu ku bibiina ebivuganya government so mwembaga temubeebuuzaako then mukola kikyamu
kyenakugambye Kongo nti Kennedy alina okusalawo oba okubeera ku lukalu oba mu ttaka bwe babutwa mu parliament akulira ekikolwa DP abeera eri
sibula omwami ono ogenda mu parliament nze ndi musanyufu you are a moderate voice naye mulina okulwana nti bunuupu mwaba moderate voice musinze bali amaanyi n'ekisembayo ku lwokuna bannange akalulu ka Beatrice Mao
olwanyisa opposition nawe olwanyisa opposition
kibiina
ugambye wano
thank you Kenneth wumba mwami mwine
kati ensonga zino nga bw'oziwulidde za kiguumaaza ng'ente esula ku kyoto
betuuga
kubanga bato bange bano ababaka ba palamenti basimbako ebitundu 48 buli 100 twategenda kutuukira mu kulonda already ne 40 nga bavuddemu ku ba councillors kwa chairman LC5 basimbako ku district search 46 basimbako 37 wonjogerera n'abana bavuddemu ba councillor LC5 kanana mu 5 basimbako 8 n'abamu tebakyalimu ba ssentebe bamagombolola ne town councils tulina 25 balwana ne basimbako 65 n'abamu bavuddemu ba councillors kugenda kugombolola omutwalo gumu 25 balwana ne basimbako 24 kati omutwalo gumu plus ba councillors bagenda ku magombolola toyinaayo so wadde twagala ebyamagero really onaayitawa ofune ekikyuka kubanga buno these leadership structures zeziyitibwamu obubaka kutuuka wansi nze ndowooza ekiwangazza Uganda eno mwenaremu tukiyita strategic patience ya President Museveni kubanga kati intelligence yonna giyina bebabadde bapulaninga okukola naye oba kisajja kikulu oba ojja kulaba nga abitadde ebbali nga tunula ekifaananyi kya Uganda ekinene fe abasoma intelligence tugamba nti the greatest general is the one who wins the war without shooting a single bullet. Eggwanga lino lya bannayuganda bonna kyenkanyi tuteekwa kwogeraganya wadde twawangudde tumanyi nti waliwo miliyoni 2 z'abantu
akadde kampeddeko Charles Romushana wabali nnyo seconds 10 zokka akadde kampeddeko
nyingi nnyo akalulu kawedde muddeyo mukole.
Thank you. Charles Romushana, Fred Bamwine, George Musi, Kennedy Mutenyo tubadde na bunaku olwaliro ku NBS ingo twagala kubeera nga tubasibulira wano naye nkukwase omukyala Mildred Hayise abeere nga akutwala maaso n'enteekateeka eya Spotlight. Mildred, tandikirawo tubuli ekyoyina olunaku olwaleero.
Waawo Adam Kongo tweyanziza nnyo bye tulina olwaleero twogera ku byakwerinda kubanga bannayuganda balina ebibuuzo bingi bye beebuuza okulonda kwawedde okulangirira kwabaddewo olunaku lw'eggulo kati beebuuza tuddeyo okukola oba wakyaliwo ebitiisatiisa ebyo bye bimu bye tugenda okubeera nga tuwogerako and I want to welcome all our viewers to this edition, a special edition of Spotlight UG, and particularly once again, just like we had one shortly before we went into the elections, talking about the state of security and what Ugandans should be expecting. I definitely also have a conversation which is with two particular very senior officers who will be letting us know what has happened, what was the plan, what did happen, and post-election, for those of you who still have some qualms, some fears, asking yourselves questions, probably around security, those will definitely be answered. And with me right here, I will be speaking to the Commissioner General of Prisons, I will also be speaking to the Inspector General of Police. But ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mildred Tohaisa. Welcome to Spotlight UG. Welcome back. Thank you so much for keeping it to NBS television. And on such a Sunday, which is just a few hours after the official declaration of the president-elect of the country, there are lots of questions lingering in the minds of Ugandans, well knowing that tomorrow is actually Monday. It was a public holiday on Thursday. Many of the offices, even on Friday, were not open, and probably this has been a weekend. And there's so many questions around security, around what happened during the elections, and that is what we are exactly here to be able to talk about. And like I clearly said, I will be speaking to the Inspector General of Police, who is right here with me, sir. It's a pleasure having you. A very good evening and welcome to Spotlight UG.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for me, Mildred, to be here this evening.
Sure.
And I also take this opportunity to greet all the viewers.
Pleasure having you. And thank you so much for sparing time. I know it's still a very busy schedule for you post-election, but thank you for making time for us.
Thank you.
And we also do have the Commissioner General of Prisons right here with us, Dr. Johnson Byabashaija. It's a pleasure having you. When we see you, sometimes we are thinking the handcuffs are very close, but very good evening to you, and thank you for sparing time.
Thank you, Mildred. Good evening, viewers. I'm very happy to be here.
Oh, thank you so much. Mr. Byakagaba, from the police's perspective, how did the election go? First of all, we would like to know what is your situation analysis of the entire process?
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to once again take this opportunity to thank the Ugandans for keeping the peace. And the elections have been generally, largely peaceful in the whole country.
Yes.
Albeit a few incidents, but on the whole, we have had a very peaceful.
No major occurrences, or we'll be breaking down some of those.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. To the CGP, what did the elections look like? Because I know that you have some customers who definitely had to come through, but in an overview, because I know there was a joint security task force coming through, what did the situation look like on your side?
We had to support the police, especially as polling constables, to maintain order at the polling stations. And I think we did it very well.
Okay.
We have not had any significant increase in the prisoners' population.
Okay.
Which means my colleague here did absolute policing and ensured that we didn't have any unnecessary increase in the prison population.
That definitely.
And we are stable.
That gives some quite a bit of comfort to Ugandans, especially when you say you had no significant increase.
No.
Yes.
We didn't have any significant increase. Actually, to me, this is one of the most peaceful elections I have witnessed in this country.
Okay.
And I think the police did their work. The security forces did their work.
Okay.
So there was very, very minimal disruptions from my point of view.
All right. Thank you very much. And to Mr. Abbas Byakagaba, let's look at some of the incidents. I know that the police department, especially the communications department, kept on giving us updates on what was happening. But there's still, isolated allegations that are coming through online of arrests, for example, of one of the presidential candidates who did post actually online saying he had escaped from security that had detained him at home, and that there was a lot of insecurity at his home. There were allegations of, killings around the country. Let's just go down to break out some of those incidents that you could have heard of and you would want to actually clarify about.
Thank you very much, Mildred. I think first of all, I would like to say you can only escape when you have been taken charge of.
Okay.
It becomes difficult to escape when there is nobody taking charge of you. And I think what our people need to know, we have always, since this exercise of elections started, we have been offering security. And we are the ones who have been protecting all the presidential candidates.
Yes.
We have offered that protection, and that protection is still being given. And I wouldn't like to go so much into that, but also to dispel that allegation that there was a helicopter which went in to pick candidate Chagulanyi from his home. That's not true. And it should be dismissed with all the dismissal it requires.
Okay.
And when we decide to arrest, we arrest actually legally. And I've always emphasized to our people that when there is need for an arrest, we definitely carry out that arrest, and we remain within the
confines of the law.
The confines of the law. And I have even previously told our people that during the electoral process, the laws are not in abeyance, but also we have had a lot of restraint because we have wanted this process to go on as peacefully as it can.
Yeah.
And we have continuously moved in that mode. So maybe that's the brief I could talk about those allegations. Those are mere allegations, but I want to believe that they are meant to cause disinformation, and you know what disinformation and misinformation causes. And maybe what is the audience, what is the targeted audience? What is that misinformation meant to do? And therefore, I call upon our people to listen to the facts always, and so that we can always move smoothly in our environment, a very peaceful environment, which is actually currently obtaining, albeit a few incidents which I will talk about, like the incident in Butambala.
Okay.
I don't know whether you'd like me to
please
talk
go into
about
detail,
it right
because
now.
there is a lot of information which was spreading around Butambala. The candidate was claiming that 10 people were killed in his home, inside his home, and that bullets were shot directed at him, although he escaped. So I would like you to clear the air on what exactly happened.
Briefly, I think, one, I would like to say and call upon our people to be responsible, including all leaders across the board. There was an incident where there was an attempted attack on the police station, and to be precise, that was the Kivivi police station.
Okay.
Also an attack on a tele center.
Wow.
And eventually what we find out is that these people who attempted to attack these places are not necessarily from the area. That's one. I'd like our people to note that. Two, these people were over 100 people. And I would like our people to note, these are people not from our area. I mean from that area of Butambala.
So they were ferried from other areas?
They were ferried from other areas, and the information coming out is basically from Kampala areas. And that raises a lot of questions. What is the intention, or what was the intention for people to be ferried, people we are expecting to be in their places to be able to vote, but they are transported out of the area that we think should have been the area for voting, and eventually they are armed with crude weapons, and they are there trying to attack a police station, trying to attack a tele center, and therefore there was a response from the security forces, and we ended up with the unfortunate scenario where lives of 7 people were lost.
Okay.
But also we had some of them arrested. To be precise, I think there were 20, 25, around there. And what they are telling us is, first of all, they are not from Butambala, but also they were hired. They were taken there, allegedly, by Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi. I think this one is not a secret. It should come out, because just as he's saying, people had issues at his home and the environs, but what we are finding out is that they were taken there by himself, according to what they are saying. So that needs also to be noted, and we are following up to reach the bottom of the facts.
Okay.
Because at the end of it, causing the death of even an individual is totally unacceptable.
Exactly.
And therefore, my promise is that we are going to follow up and ensure that justice is dispensed to both the victims and those who did what they did, but through, of course, the normal processes of the law. Ours, we do what we do and process further than our authority ends.
Okay.
And that's the promise I can give to our people. That was an undesirable incident. But also, along the way, we also intercepted other people, like within the areas of Chengera.
Okay.
We intercepted I think the number is 28. And when they were asked, they said they had been organized, they had a coaster. And they were traveling, they were going to Mitiana. And they were saying they had been, the whole arrangement had been done by another honorable member of parliament. And the reasons we are still digging out, but this could tell you, could it have been maybe a similar intention, like what happened in Butambala? Our investigations are going to find out. But we condemn, because we condemn the issue of leaders mobilizing the young people, where even in some of the cases, the young people may even not know what they are going to do exactly. Yeah. These are children and mature people picked from their localities and taken to some of these areas like Butambala. This one, the one we intercepted, they were going to Mitiana. There are other areas where this could have happened. The people will tell us, and we shall continue to investigate and ensure that people answer for what they planned for.
Yeah.
I think basically that's what I could talk about, particularly these 2 incidents.
Okay.
But also with assurance to the people, because what is happening now, the country is calm and peaceful. And for us as security, we are encouraged. And we shall continue to provide the required security to ensure that our people continue with the normal activities.
Okay. Well, very unfortunate incidents right there. And thanks to the intelligence that you had some intercepted, probably we would be reporting quite various numbers. Dr. Bebesheja, as we went into the elections, you'll also be letting us know what you witnessed, especially with the joint operation task force that you were in, together with the constables that you did deploy. But as we went into the elections, there seemed to be a ban on visits for a particular, I would call it a ban or whatever way you would have named it, for a particular point in time. I am wondering that extends up to when, or it's already open, and that whoever wants to visit any friends, relatives who are incarcerated could still be able. If you could just throw some light on that.
Thank you, Mildred. We suspended visits to prisons only on 14th of January. That's the day before
elections.
Because we deployed most of our staff to go and reinforce. And also for us to prepare for elections ourselves, because there were elections within our environment. But we had visits on 12th, which was a Monday. We had a visit on 13th, which was a Tuesday. Of course, we didn't have visits on the public holidays, which was Thursday and Friday. But tomorrow we shall resume visits to the prisons. The visiting of prisoners will be normal. And I don't think that one day should have been a very big issue.
Okay.
Because we are preparing for an important day, which was Thursday 15th. We only suspended on 14th of January.
I know that you also were part of the security, the entire team, ensuring that there is security. There was deployment of constables. Any particular incidents that you paid attention to that you would like to come to light, and how probably some of those incidents were contained?
I don't recall any incident that involved our personnel who are reinforcing police as election constables. As you know, the elections were absolutely peaceful. The voting period from the 7 to the 5 o'clock.
Yes.
I don't think we recorded any incident anywhere, and that's where our personnel stopped to support the police.
Okay.
So I don't have any recorded incident as far as the prison personnel are concerned.
Okay.
You have heard what my colleague has reported. I think this was post-election, post-voting time, and so we don't have any incident which we recorded during the voting period where our people reinforced police as election constables to maintain law and order at the voting stations. Thank you, Mildred.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me come back to Mr. Byakagaba. Let's look at some of the measures that you enforced to ensure that there is this kind of peace that we have seen, and how effective those were, and moving forward, how Ugandans should actually, because some Ugandans got alarmed probably when we see a lot of security deployment, probably on some particular roads, you are being checked if you are traveling, coming into the city or going out of the city. What assurance do you give? Because some feel intimidated. I don't know why. Some feel secure, others feel intimidated when we get to see a lot of uniform on the roads.
First of all, thank you, Mildred, for bringing out that issue. First of all, I'd like to give my own observation about the Ugandans. Generally, on the whole, the Ugandans, and considering the kind of security outfit we have in Uganda, the security is pro-people, right from the UPDF, the police, the prison service, and other security organs. And that's what I continue to see. And therefore, any addition of security to our people is extra assurance. And that one, I have seen it. And that's why people came out to vote. I was seeing where there were our patrols there was a seamless interaction between our security forces, be it on patrols on foot, be it the patrols on wheels, in vehicles. But I was seeing even there was no problem. Like I could see, I was watching wherever I was. And you would see, for example, a patrol group which has vehicles, but you are seeing a border coming in between. The borders are on the sides. The people on foot, you don't see any disturbance on them. They are also continuing normally with their activities. On the whole, if anybody said that the deployment of security could have caused worries to the public, I think that's not true. If anything, instead, it galvanized the confidence of the people that security was abound everywhere. And it continues to be the same. And I'm very confident. Okay. That's why we are having a very calm situation by now. Mm-hmm. From the time we started deployments to the time of elections already, my colleague has told you, no incident whatsoever. Mm. And this is a statement by the public. Much as we put in our efforts, but there was another statement by the public that, one, we are confident that you security, you are there.
Okay. Maybe the reason why some feel that they were intimidated is because I think whereas the peace was there, we seem to have posted the lowest voter turnout. Is it that Ugandans just wanted to stay away? Because there is always the whole facade about security being around and it all
and stay
that
in
your
their
presence
space.
deters their activities.
Yes, and that one I think we shall continue. But with the realization that those are very, very few, very extra few. But on the whole, Ugandans, peace-loving, I'm very sure, very appreciative of our security presence. And maybe allow me to explain this. You see, because you keep hearing here and there that we expected only the police to be present during this time of elections. This could be like as if someone is saying, let us first suspend Uganda, the country, and go into elections, and I don't know elections for what, and under what conditions, because we must all the time be alive to the fact that there is a country called Uganda. It has its security infrastructure. And there are all serious issues which are beyond elections, like keeping the integrity of the country in terms of security.
But you know, IGP, if I could just hold you just a little bit. When you talk about the security infrastructure, many of them think to the fact that, of course, each of those sections has their cup of tea, if I would say, for lack of a better word, that with the police, we know if it comes to maintaining law and order, it is nothing to think about. If we talk about rehabilitation of offenders, the Commissioner General and his team comes through. If we talk about territorial integrity, then the army comes through. But there is always this whole conversation around the point in time when the army and police then come together in instances where the police is expected to be at the forefront.
You have exactly said it. For matters of elections, the police is expected to be at the forefront, and it has kept that position.
Yeah.
And I think you've used the right word, forefront of who? Forefront of the police? Or the police is at the forefront to be supported by other agencies. And that's why we talk about interagency. This interagency does not just start with the elections. Interagency is an outfit which has been there and is going to continue to be there because of the realization that all the players within the security outfit must work together. But depending on the scenario, if as you have said, law and order, the police is in the lead. That's why you could not see other agencies apart from prison service who supported us in the inner areas of the electoral activities. But if it is patrols on the street, then you expect to see still police in the lead, but being supported by other forces, more especially the UPDF. And there is nothing wrong with that, because we are still using the national security infrastructure.
Okay.
And remember, you see, when you are talking about election security, it feeds into the national security, the general area security, which we have continuously done together. Okay. And I think we need our people to appreciate this, that we are able to have that harmonious working together to ensure provision of security all the time, 24/7.
Okay.
And I think the only words I could use is to say how happy I am for always being supported
by the other agencies.
Ensure by the other agencies. And we shall continue to do that because it's necessary.
Okay.
It's necessary and it works for us as a country.
All right, IGP, we'll be coming back to that. Commissioner General, when you talked about the fact that you didn't receive so many numbers, which is a positive, that probably people maintained peace and that didn't warrant any arrests to get detention. But even with the few numbers that you received, many are still thinking, where do you put them when you've always complained about the fact that you are overly congested?
We are congested. This is public knowledge to the level that 3 people occupy space of one person. That is average.
What do you mean average?
The average.
Okay.
Because you will find that congestion is mainly in the urban prisons, which are reception centers which get people from court. But when I go to the farms, I have space.
Okay.
Actually, I would pray that the courts convict. I transform these remand prisoners whom we receive in the urban prisons into convicts. Currently, I have a ratio of 45% of my inmates.
Not convicted, they are remandees.
They are remandees. Please note, this is a very significant development. We have 54% convicts. That is a very significant development. That means the wheels of justice are turning finally in this country.
Okay.
Because we are coming from a 60% remand. The more convicts I have, the less congestion I would have. Because the congestion is in the reception centers, mainly,
okay,
which are near courts, that is in the urban centers. But I have space in the farms where rehabilitation takes place. I'm sure in the social media you have seen that we have built a new facility in Ruzira Women Prison, which I think is going to be commissioned in the next week or two. That will be the end of congestion in Ruzira Women Prison. We are doing similar the congestion measures in the other satellite. For example, I want to give an example.
Yeah.
If I want to decongest Fort Portal, I must have a place where I have space and then construct infrastructure there. I'm now constructing infrastructure in Rimi prison to make sure that Fort Portal I decongest it. We are doing that all over the country. So, Mildred and the Ugandans, we are not short of space to keep people whom you don't want
in society,
in the population. Those who are disturbing the peace, those who make the society unsafe, once they go through the processes, you know, the process, the wheel of justice from police, via the sanction of DPP to judiciary, then to prisons, we shall have them.
Okay.
And make sure that the society is kept safe.
All right. When you talk about society being kept safe, it goes back now to the IGP, who I would like to. There are many people who are still thinking about their safety, especially opposition supporters. And I would like you to give assurance to, because there are some who still believe they're being targeted, some who believe that because, it did not go in their way, they could be targeted. And in the aftermath of the election, what message would you have to those who are thinking in that way?
The message to our people, to all Ugandans and all residents in this country, is to assure them of security which is not biased towards any individuals or any people's belonging. And we know very well that we must provide security to all Ugandans and residents, and that's what we will continue to do. I want to assure all the people that our efforts are geared to their protection, and thereby they should feel secure wherever they are. And so far so good. We are going to continue, even increasing more efforts. Now that these elections are over, and the elections are at least for the presidential and the members of public, but I would like to remind our people that we are still continuing with the elections.
Till February 6th.
Till February 6th. We need to maintain and sustain this peaceful environment. And I'm very sure, on my part, we have done all it takes, and we shall continue even to improve, to ensure that our people live in a very, very peaceful environment. The provision of security is still work in progress. We may have gaps here and there, but on the whole, I think I can confidently assure people of security, and we will continue to provide that. Maybe let me also use this opportunity to share with the Ugandans and all residents in Uganda that the provision of security, as far as I'm concerned, we are moving forward, and I see improvements day in, day out, every time. And the government is giving us reasonably adequate support in terms of building infrastructure. Like I can talk about the CCTV system still being built to make it better.
What percentage are we at when it comes to functionality? Because that also gives comfort to Ugandans, knowing that if there is any incident, then I can always be able to get footage with regard to what happened on the cameras.
We can now currently look at the whole country using CCTV.
Okay.
And maybe another phase that is going to come in is to have the private CCTV cameras to be joined to our system so that we have a complete view of whatever will be happening, view for purposes of security, not just to see. Maybe again, you've talked about what is recorded to be given to the people. Our main purpose for this CCTV is to enable the police and other sister forces to be able to provide security to the people.
Not to give us evidence or in case we need
the
it.
Evidence,
because there's been allegations of Ugandans saying incidents happen, they report to police and they're told the CCTV at that point was not functional.
The evidence should be to the police to be able to investigate and complete the investigations and present to court, not to the victims.
To pick.
To pick.
Okay.
I think this needs to be clear. Like, let's say if I have lost a vehicle, what do I need? The police needs to view the CCTV recording, or even to review before even the vehicle is stolen, so that that vehicle is not stolen. But in case, that's the worst case scenario for us. In case the vehicle is stolen, then the police should view that recording and make a follow-up, make recoveries, and also use this as evidence in the courts of law to pin the suspects so that they can answer for their wrongdoing. I think this needs to be cleared. The police should not be there for individuals to go and say, give me the recording.
For us.
Give me the recording. The recording can maybe only be used in very restricted circumstances where maybe you want to educate the people.
Okay.
But for purposes of investigations and all that, this is the duty of the police.
Okay.
So this is an enabler to the police to be able to remain on top of the situation in as far as investigations are concerned. The CCTV should be there to help the police to keep observing. That's the big brother, the eye of the big brother, to see, is the environment okay? Is it the way we want it to be? Is someone pickpocketing somewhere? Are people fighting? Are people calm? Are people normally doing the business that they want to do? And that's the purpose of the CCTV.
Okay. Yes. Well, I think that clears the air a bit for us, although not in the most positive way, but the truth remains the truth. CJP, let me come back to you. We were earlier talking about the issue of the overcrowdedness that you do have. Yes, like the IGP has clearly said, what we had on Thursday was just the beginning. We have elections spanning through. Even on Monday, we have elections that will be going all the way up to the 6th. How are you preparing for any influx? You mentioned that there are some investigations on particular incidents that are continuing, and that could mean that in some of the investigations, some arrests could be made.
Yes, and we have room for all those that the system will throw.
And for everyone who comes, there are resources.
Yeah, that's what management is all about. You know, people always talk about inadequate resources. Resources will never be adequate. You must manage with the resources you have.
Okay.
The resources we have, the infrastructure we have, we can contain what is brought, those that are brought to us. We shall manage them. And there should not be any worry about that. What I'm not going to say is that, please, court, don't give me prisoners because I'm full. No.
You're open.
No.
Okay.
We shall manage that situation.
What are you planning to do to ensure the safety and welfare of particular detainees, especially those who would feel vulnerable due to their political affiliations?
No, we don't have any inmate that has been remanded to us on political affiliation. We have categories of prisoners.
Of crime?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, we get all our inmates from court, and it is very hard for our staff to know that this is a political prisoner, because they are charged properly in court. They have commitment warrants, and we take them as such. In other words, we have a professional disposition towards the people they bring to us. We just have a professional disposition. We handle them equally. You have not heard a lot of noise that we have. I have almost eliminated human rights. We have almost eliminated human rights issues in the prisons. What we have are normal altercations that even can happen in your family. You find a staff has issues with the prisoner. Those are normal things, but it is not an institutional policy that you will have abuse of prisoners. Okay. Right? We have almost eliminated that. And we don't discriminate that this one is a vagabond or this one is a... these days I have prisoners who are charged of being nuisance.
Public nuisance.
Nuisance. We shall treat him equally with a pickpocket, the one who has come in because of a pickpocket. They will have equal treatment, because for us we look at these are our inmates, and they will all be subjected to our standard operating procedures, and that is that.
Well, still talking about welfare, many of the people who are your former, former customers, I would say, never get to speak very well of issues concerning welfare in the prisons. How are you working towards ensuring that that is something that is sorted?
At least we have a principle of equivalence.
Okay.
What a person is, how a person is handled outside should also be the person is handled inside. A person should be able, they are human beings. They should be able to have meals, okay, minimum 3 meals. They should be able to have water for bathing, for ablution, for drinking. Okay, they should be able to have health services. When he's not feeling well, he should be attended to by professional personnel. Those things we offer. But prison is not a hotel. No. Actually, you should not. You should avoid as much as possible to come to prison.
Okay.
Because it is not comfortable. As I told you, we are congested, especially in the reception centers. So you will have that discomfort. I don't think a person will talk well of that one.
Yeah.
That is the situation. Yeah. But every time we improve our situation, every time we improve our situation, people who cannot handle the prison diet, which is specified in our regulations, doctors can prescribe special diets, and that one is quite obtaining in our institutions. I think we have welfare officers. That's why prisoners can have calls made on their behalf to their relatives. And we have welfare. We are trying to implement the welfare regime within the prison
context,
I think we have not diverted
in any way
from that.
Okay, we still continue to talk about a number of issues that are coming through because we are talking post-presidential and parliamentary elections, but there are more and more elections that are coming in through when you talk about the local council elections, the special interest group elections. All those are still coming through, and I'm still here with the Inspector General of Police and the Commissioner General of Prisons. But allow us to take a very short commercial break, and when we do return, we'll continue engaging on this conversation. Please do stay with us.
Kampala mornings, more like Kampala marathons. Why sweat in traffic when there is a better way to move? With Union, you're always one tap away from safe, affordable, and convenient rides. Glide through the congestion like it's a VIP lane. Get there faster, safely at the best price in town. Download the Union Let's Go app today. Union, the better way to move.
Unlock an exciting new fueling experience with the Texol card. With this card, you can pay for fuel fast and conveniently. Enjoy an exclusive discount on every liter of fuel you buy and earn reward points that you can redeem for exciting prizes. Transform your fueling experience with a Texol card. Available at all Texol Energy stations. Texol, reliability redefined.
Kicking your year off
in all her glory.
With more, because we got you.
You get it?
You know that. We got kicks. We got scores. We got action. We got roars.
Specialty.
We got drama. We got fun. We got more for everyone. With an upgrade on us, just for you. More channels, more shows, more reasons to stay.
We got you.
DSTV, we got you all the way.
New Tusker Premium Cider. Crisp, delicious apples, crushed and blended to create a unique taste explosion.
One of them is just steady. The black man. Valentine's Day. Special Valentine's show. Emitwalo kumi okuyingira tabo y'abantu omunana ya milioni 3 ticket tozigula ku quicket ne MTN Momo 053527 oba okuba simu 0783 M75 nyai mu mwenda no bukinga mwana mulezi Joyce Teddy atuse azokuchusa omukwano go aguwe ntandika empya nga konkone ndongo kayima tukayima sound stage amatara ne screen byonna biteekeddwako kafuru Venom Records kale muleeta obuwala busaidi chick busaidi head kabojja buli kimu Just steady aluko speak resort emunyonyo ku Valentine's Day akutosibwako Abitex Promotions.
You will always know when you're in the presence of the finest. It's like time slows down just enough for you to feel everything in full flavor.
Tusker Malt Lager. Alcohol is not for certain persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.
Running late? Don't panic. With just one tap, Faros gets you there, fast and stress-free. From big moments to everyday rides, Faros keeps you moving. Need a quick ride, a family car, or even a border? Faros has you covered. Faros, reliable, affordable, always there when you need it.
Looking for a household cleaner that truly delivers? Meet Apple, the antibacterial cleaning powder for bathrooms and surfaces. Apple is formulated for 3-dimensional cleaning. It's a scouring agent that scrubs off dirt and stains, a germicide that kills 99.9% of household germs, and it works with water to wash everything away, leaving your bathrooms and ceramics hygienic and sparkling clean. Keep up hygiene standards without breaking the budget. Switch to Apple today. Apple is available at supermarkets and convenience stores countrywide.
Before the headlines, there's the quiet work of confidence. The faces you trust are styled by the hands we trust. Because beauty isn't just seen, it's felt. Alaya Hair and Beauty. The choice behind the spotlight. Redefining beauty one face at a time.
Fellow countrymen and women, I want to urge you to love Uganda, love yourself, love this country. We are going in for these elections. I urge you, please, let's embrace love, peace. Uganda is bigger than all of us. Let's only promote unity in diversity. When we do this, we will promote the country, and we should have in our heart the Uganda we need, where our ideas is accepted all round, and in peace, the country will flourish.
I choose peace.
In a digital world, not everything is what it seems. False stories today spread faster than truth, leaving us all wondering what's real. Disinformation misleads, misinformation misguides, and spreads confusion and fear. Dismiss a campaign to help you think critically, question wisely, and verify thoroughly. Join us. Let's build a more informed Uganda. One truth at a time. Dismiss, inquire, verify, confirm. Together, let's fight fake news.
Want to stream your favorite content without limits on Afro Mobile? Here's how to get started with the MTN Afro Mobile bundles. Open the Afro Mobile app on your phone. If you don't have it yet, download it from the Play Store or App Store. Tap your profile and scroll to purchase. Choose the bundle that works for you for 4K weekly or 10K monthly. Confirm your selection and complete payment directly through the app using your Momo Pay. Receive your confirmation and stream Minga non-stop. That's it. No codes, no hassle. Just tap, subscribe, and start streaming. Streaming non-stop, only with Afro Mobile and MTN.
Good evening to you, and thank you so much for keeping it NBS Television. You are still watching a special edition of a Spotlight UG as we take a look at the first bit of the election aftermath, that is the presidential and parliamentary elections that did end as we did receive the official results from the polls as of yesterday. But what does it remain as in the country when it comes to matters security? I do have the Inspector General of Police with me, Mr. Basbia Kagaba, and I also do have the Commissioner General of Prisons, Dr. Johnson Biabasheja, speaking about what the aftermath looks like and the communication to Ugandans on what next, especially as tomorrow comes in. But so far, what we do have that security is definitely guaranteed, and for each and every one of you who's been preparing to get to office as early as you always do, please make sure that you are in office and you work, because at least as what is coming in from the security forces is that you are well assured of the peace and security prevailing as it has always been. You have no need to be intimidated to go to work. Let me come back to you, IGP, on the issue. We know that we are still continuing with elections coming through for the other sections of elective positions. How are you as police balancing between maintaining law and order, but also upholding the right to speech and assembly, which sometimes, you know, pushes you to the last limits as police, but Ugandans also thinking and also saying that they have to enjoy this right of speech and assembly as well?
Thank you, Mildred. First of all, I think I have kept on saying it wherever I have the opportunity to talk about it, about our space that we have, where there are laws, regulations, responsibilities of the different individuals, different sectors. Like we are clearly aware, for example, for the police, we know our responsibilities are regulated by law. We go ahead and make standard operating procedures. And we are clearly aware that we are tasked by the people of Uganda via the Constitution that we must maintain law and order. But we are also aware that there are responsibilities of the individual citizens and residents. And these rights are not necessarily absolute. Just as you have said, people want to talk whatever they want to talk, but I think they are also not, they don't have a free will to talk what is not regulated, because also in talking there is regulation by the law. There's when you talk and go beyond what is regulated by the law, and when you cross that, then that means the law must take its course. Even in terms of, maybe I use this opportunity to explain something which has been disturbing me, more especially during campaigns. I think it's important, and now that I've got this opportunity, like maybe our people are not understanding us, for example, where we would have issues with a candidate who wants to move wherever he wants to go. But then people need to remember, for example, the police is tasked with the regulation of traffic, for example, on the roads. And it's clear, a pedestrian moves not in the middle of the road, but on the side of the road. And the vehicle, because also there are regulations, you don't keep right, you keep left. Now, those are the established traffic regulations by law. And when that when there is a situation where that should not happen, that means the police needs to come in and regulate, because you are still on the issue of maintaining law and order, more especially the orderliness. So when, for example, during campaigns, when we say, oh, come and we agree, and we indeed agree, so that at that particular time, maybe you are going to be forced to block certain areas so that people can pass through. But also with the guidance, for example, by the Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission guided us, said, no processions. For example, no processions. But then when you come in a procession, what should the police be doing?
IGP, one would say that elections are highly emotive, and seeing the IGP, if he is the candidate of my choice, I'm saying, and I am just drawn to come. It is not that he is inviting me.
Exactly. What you want may not necessarily be what you should be doing. And that's why the police is there in the middle to say, actually, in a civil way, we need to be assisted to be doing these things in a civil way, and in which case it calls upon the people to respect the police, because they don't do it on their own. It's not something that someone should just think, even if I'm a police officer. I should not just imagine what I want to do. Whatever is done is regulated.
Some candidates complained and alleged that it was intended by police to actually divert them to the remotest of areas or to the most bumpy of roads, and yet there were much better areas to be able to use to get to their campaigning grounds. What would you say about that?
I know that we don't have enough time to really to discuss this at length. But the bottom line is, why do you have to sit down and agree? It's because you still want to maintain orderliness in an environment, but also you want to prevent other issues that may come in. Because if you are going to come in a procession and you are passing through, let's say, a trading center or a shopping area, there are people who may not necessarily be part of your activity. Because as I said from the beginning, the environment, much as we would be in an electoral period, but there are other activities going on. That's why we must agree and say, okay, we may not necessarily use Kampala Road, but can we use Nasa Road? And also when you use Nasa Road, can we use half of it? So that other users, and can we also agree not to have processions, because it is going even to invite even the people you may think they are for campaigns, when actually they have come to see how they pick things from the shops around. How do we mitigate that? We mitigate all that by agreeing and working together to ensure the campaign process goes on, but also other activities. Because you are not going to force other people to join your activity on that particular day.
Okay.
And therefore, as we said from the beginning, that all these activities collocate together, and who is there to help in ensuring that everyone does what he or she wants to do legally within the same environment. And that's the bottom line.
Okay, thank you. CGP, let's talk about some allegations of intimidation or retaliation that could sometimes happen in the prisons. Yes, you clearly said that you don't receive prisoners based on political affiliation, but it's just on offense and those categories. But you've also clearly indicated that there could be some small instance of, the altercations between maybe the prison services and the inmates, or just between the inmates themselves. How are you planning, or what is in place to ensure that these incidents are reduced and that they don't keep reoccurring in whatsoever?
Thank you, Mildred. I want the public to know that we keep order in the prison. Because you send us difficult people. And therefore, we have to be on top of order.
Yeah.
We have punishment after being tried, after due process. And Mildred, I want to assure you that we can punish. You cause prison disorder, we shall punish you.
Okay.
Now, the inmates know. We call it, the inmates know the rules within the prison. We call it Sharia ya gerezani. If you attack another prisoner, or if you attack a staff, we shall punish you, and you will know that these people have really professionally punished me. And the others are saying they will not do it. That's why we have a lot of order in prison. You rarely hear that we have riots, that we have what? Because we maintain a strict code of discipline. This applies to the staff as well. You cannot be a prison officer, and go and cane a prisoner. We shall punish you. Because there is no, we used to have corporal punishment before our laws were reformed. If you recall, an offense, a conviction on the offense of rape would attract a minimum of 6 years or 12 with 6 strokes of the cane. It was specified in the penal code. And those canes were not very easy. But these things were eliminated because now we conform to the international standards of justice. And therefore those things are removed. So we have a strict code of conduct. We punish staff who assault. But I don't think I would call it assault. Those who go into altercation with inmates, we punish the staff. Those inmates who harass other inmates, we punish them. And the others will know that, no, I'm not supposed to do this. And incidentally for us, we don't put these punishments, we don't put them out in the press.
They happen in your conference.
It is an internal process, but it is very effective.
Okay.
And that's why you don't hear a lot of nonsense behind the walls.
Okay, thank you very much. IGP, let me come back to you. Earlier on, you did speak about our rights, our responsibilities, and what the law actually stipulates. And you talked about sometimes crossing the line while you were speaking. And during these campaigns, of course, there was a lot of candidates speaking, sometimes bordering on inflammatory speech that could have, contributed to a bit of tensions. Are there any investigations in that regard? Because we clearly know that our laws stipulate as to what particular extent, if you are speaking, you can be able to go.
Thank you very much, Mildred. I think it should be clear to everyone that whether it is during campaigns and elections, whether it is during times of other activities, the law is never in abeyance. When you break the law, whether it is during the electoral period or not, if there is crime committed, the police
will come back to
should and must investigate. And it becomes even more pertinent where there are complainants. But also, even when there are no complainants, if a crime is committed and the police gets to know, I think it is upon the police to investigate. And therefore, these investigations will all the time continue. And fortunately for us, we don't investigate and then do the judgment. When we investigate and we finish, we present to the office of the DPP. But also these days, the beauty is such that as we investigate, these investigations are prosecution-led. We work together with the DPP's office to keep guiding us. By the time there is sanction by the DPP, we have already worked together, seeking guidance and ensuring that we as the police, we are guided on the ingredients of the possible crime, and by the time there is sanction for us from our side, we shall have had better support. And therefore, just to give assurance to our people that whoever should get involved in criminality, investigations will continue to be carried out. And when there is need for arrests, people will be arrested and forwarded to the courts of law.
Okay. Probably in relation to that, how are you working with other security agencies to monitor and mitigate the spread of misinformation, which could actually fuel tensions in the country? Because even post-election, there is a lot of conversation and discussion online that could border on misinformation or even be able to fuel some tensions thereafter.
Thank you, Mildred. I think you have rightly said it. Some of our people have continuously got attracted to the misuse of the media, more especially the social media, TikTok, and the other areas of communication. And you find that the intentions are geared towards misinforming our people, towards really mobilizing people negatively, towards even attacking individuals, and therefore infringing on individuals' rights to be fairly treated and so on and so forth. But the bottom line is, one, just call upon people to responsibly use whatever is before us in terms of communication, but also to add that where there is a breach, we shall go ahead and continue investigating. And those who will be found to have something as a contravention, as usual, we shall forward our investigation, the findings of our investigations, to the office of the DPP, our files, and once sanctioned, people will be taken on in the courts of law.
Okay. Yeah. And where are you as a force in terms of engaging disgruntled groups of people in a more preventive role than actually one that engages in running battles. I think Ugandans in the past were used to any battle with police, we get to see tear gas.
Fortunately, we have, as the police force, we have a realization that engagement is the best tool, because we are clearly aware that we are at the service of the people, and we value the people because whatever we do, first of all, we know that the work we do is delegated by the people of Uganda. It's even the authority is delegated authority via the constitution, via the various laws like the police standing orders and so on and so forth. But ultimately, we know that whatever we do is for the good of the people. And therefore, I think that's why you see us so much engaged in community policing activities. And to us, that's very, very important. And it's our first line of action. First line of action should be talking to the people, sensitizing them, ensuring that they do understand, ensuring that they are guided not to contravene the laws. And when that fails, that's when you see us moving to the next step. The use of tear gas or any other assets that we have as a police force is not our best case scenario. And I think it is even well defined. Tear gas, tears, maybe tears, how I wish it would be tears of joy. But that gas does not bring out tears of joy. It's only in an effort to ensure that we still keep the stability. Those who have maybe are doing it the wrong way, you unleash some little tear gas so that they move out of the space. But otherwise, ordinarily, that shouldn't be our first line.
Okay.
Our first line is community policing to ensure that our people are sensitized and they don't get involved in the commission of criminality.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. CJP, if I may come to you, you made a statement, truth of the fact, although it doesn't come through or sit well with a number of people, but that prison is not a hotel that people are coming to. But let's get to speak about issues of specialization in terms of, for example, you talked about people who may be detained and are supposed to be on specialized treatment, specialized meals. How do you get to handle that as a prison service, especially with regard to looking at that as a right for the prisoners? Because you've seen some allegations come through on specific occasions when the health of, for example, prisoners deteriorates and they say, we asked for them to have specialized treatment and prison services said they had doctors and yet this detainee actually had their special doctors to be able to deal with them. How do you get to balance that?
We are obliged to handle that professionally. We have a referral system. We can, if our doctors, we have a health service. Okay. Prison is health service, which is under the Department of Health. Within the prison service, we have the various categories of health personnel, including nurses, including we have midwives, we have clinical officers, and we have doctors. And we can refer to any specialist in Morago or any other hospital. You know we do that. You are aware we refer, we even take inmates to personal doctors where an inmate feels that I need to see my personal. We do that, you are aware. And therefore, we shall do that one. Where we have special diets prescribed for inmates, it is the prison service to provide those ingredients for that diet. I mean, if we can purchase posho, if we can grow maize, we can purchase rice, we can purchase Irish potatoes, and we do. We can purchase meat. And therefore, there is no reason why the prison service, with the capacity we have, with the land we have, there is no reason why we should fail to provide a prescribed meal. And we have not failed. We even allow inmates to get provisions for special meals. Okay. We allow that. We have canteens. We are very, very restrictive on that because we don't want to compromise the safety of the inmate. That's why sometimes people accuse us that you refused me to take to my relatives food. That means you know that this is not an ordinary inmate, and we are more concerned about his safety and security when he is under our custody. We have very, very, very strict protocols that govern these things. But these things are provided within prison. It's no longer an issue. We can buy rice, we can buy sweet potatoes, we can buy matoke. These things are available in this country. Okay. And to me, they are not. They are actually very available. And therefore, these things happen behind those walls. All right, thank you. I'm not saying that the military should think about being my client so that you see whether... It's a question that always comes through. No, please don't. I wouldn't want to have you as a client.
I would never want to be a client. Not any point in time in the near future. IGP, coming back to you, the idea of police and the community is a very important aspect. And I know that as the Uganda Police Force, you do have the community policing aspect. How well entrenched is this? And that also helps in terms of getting notification from the community itself, because you can never be everywhere at every time as Uganda Police Force.
Thank you, Mildred. Just as I've said, I think we value and cherish our method of achieving peace and stability and law and order through community policing. And that aspect has been escalated up to management level. And by management level, I mean, see, you have the IGP's deputy and the directors. So one of the directorates is the directorate of CPC, which is charged with the community policing. And it's so well entrenched in the Uganda Police Force to an extent that at the region, there is representation. At the district, that's why you'll hear of the community liaison officers. And and it flows down. I think by today, in some of the areas, like police posts. And then maybe allow me to talk about our flagship project, which is the sub-county policing model. Because it will help
which made us feel like you got the police stations away from the closest range that we did have them with.
Actually, we are putting the police stations to the closest range. And still, I'm laboring to explain the issue of community liaison, how entrenched it is. I'm not diverting from your question. But I want to point out that we have a flagship project, which is the sub-county policing model. And within that sub-county policing model, we are saying at least we should have a minimum of 18 police personnel.
Okay.
Out of the 18, based at the sub-county, out of the 18 personnel, 12 should be for patrols.
All right.
And out of the 18, there must be a community liaison officer. There must be a community liaison officer. There must be an officer charged with the criminal investigations. And then there must be another one charged with the crime intelligence. So I just wanted to show you how entrenched into our system the area of community liaison is concerned. But also to add on that project, our plan is to have at least a minimum of 3 motorcycles in every sub-county police stations. And therefore, even it talks to what you're saying, are we reducing the distance or we are increasing it? I think we are reducing it by even mobility.
Okay.
Mobility, there is a motorcycle. There are 3 motorcycles. There are radios for communication with the patrol groups, with the police station. There is also, we will have to have, in some of the areas we have already established them, we'll have to have a counter phone whose number is popularized to everyone, whoever has an issue, whoever has a situation, will know that number so that the station is contacted or the patrol group is contacted so that there is quick response. But remember also there is continuous patrols by these motorcycle people. And therefore for me, the sub-county police station is helping the police to get closer to the population. Actually, to remain into the population. Remember, there are the other 12 people on wheels, on motorcycles, and they are around, moving around. And therefore, but the whole issue has, why I'm explaining the sub-county policing, it's again to answer the other question which you asked me.
Yeah, about community policing.
How have we entrenched the issue of community policing? We are entrenching it to the level of that sub-county police. Among our areas where we must not miss out is an officer for community policing, which again answers the other issue of are we very serious about sensitizing our people instead of hiding and waiting for them to commit crime? Are we sensitizing them so that they don't commit crime. And this will even help my brother here, so that even there are less people going to the prison. And we are exactly doing that.
Okay.
And we are going to continue doing that. But we also realize that our power and strength beyond ourselves is with the people, the good intentioned people, in which case when they are sensitized, then they are able to report very quickly. And we are able to respond very quickly, in which case the situation will all the time be properly stabilized, and we shall have less work in terms of arresting and taking to court.
Well, that's great, because working together with the community does go a long way in easing your work and making sure that there is law and order, which is your core role as Uganda Police Force. Let me come back to the CGP. More elections that are still coming through, and I want to believe that you are still working together with the other agencies. What lessons have been so far taken in over the time with the different elections that you have handled and the work that you have done as inter-agencies?
Well, when you work together, you get better results, better output. And I think we shall continue to support the police when they request for our personnel. And it also exposes my staff to you know, exposure improves the person's ability to deliver services. And therefore we shall continue to do that. Of course, because of my numbers, I have only about 14,700 staff countrywide, and I have 79,000 prisoners. So the ratio is not very comfortable in our favor.
True.
And therefore, I have limited personnel whom I can give a bus. But those we give, I think he appreciates.
Yes, sure.
He appreciates. I don't remember the numbers which I gave you this time. It might be the highest I have given you in the police record, because you know, when I was appointed, and it is not yesterday, when I was appointed CGP, the whole prison service personnel were only 3,000. Okay? But because of the demographics of the country, where the population has increased, also the number of prisoners increased, we are now 14,700. But we have not yet got the numbers we want to contain 79.
What is the desired prisoner to
I call it
staff ratio?
I call it hypothetical. I don't think our country can afford it.
Never. Okay.
The economy might not afford, it cannot afford that. That is 1 to 3. But in the long run, you know, I was reading the other day, I saw that our GDP now is 68 million US
dollars.
I thought this is a rapid.
We're looking at getting it 10 times more.
I mean, this is a rapid increase. The other day we were talking only of 35.
Yeah.
Not a long time ago. So I can see there is hope. There is hope at the end of the tunnel that we shall be going towards these ratios as the economy and the country is able to afford to run a prison service with these adequate numbers.
And CGP, how extensive is your decongestion plan? You talked about a few aspects that you are looking at in the near future.
I want to give you only examples. You know, in prisons we are people of few words. We don't talk a lot, but we are very practical. I want to tell you that now I am able to decongest Mbarara because I have put infrastructure in Isinjiro. Already complete.
Okay.
I am now completing Tororo to be able to decongest Mbali. I have already dealt with the congestion in Busia, Masafu. I have already dealt with congestion in Bubro. I have already dealt with congestion in Rukunjiri. I have already dealt with congestion in Tungamo. I have already dealt with congestion I'm dealing with congestion in Masindi because I'm about to complete infrastructure in Isimba Prison Farm. I'm also building in Abim, that is Amita Prison Farm. Okay. And that one will be able to deal with the Guru, the congestion. I'm going to start on Peche. So it's a comprehensive plan to decongest.
Or to create more space for others.
To create more not create more space, but to make sure that when you are brought, you live in humane conditions. This is the objective. In other words, instead of having 3 people occupying space of 1 person, which is prevalent within the reception centers, these are the prisons which are in towns that receive prisoners from court. Probably we can go in the medium term, we can go on 2
for
1. Okay? And by the way, we have a standard measure which defines what this congestion is. Each person is supposed to have 3.6 meters squared. That is the when they say standard minimum rules for treatment of prisoners, which are now called the Mandela rules. They say you should have 3.6 meters squared. This is a person, 1 person. In other words, that would be 2 meters by 1.8 meters. That is still a luxury in our situation. At least I want to go to 2 meters, okay, by 1 meter. That is that
is what you're aiming at. What do you have?
That is the medium term.
What do you have currently? 1 by 1, 0.5 by 1?
No. You get 3 people and divide by 1 person. It's congestion.
Yes.
But I told you that is average. It doesn't obtain in the prison farms. And we call it average because you get those of the prison farms, you get those in the center. Here you can even have, for example, a prison of 600 capacity, and it has about 2,000 prisoners. That will even go more than the 300% which I described there. So we have a comprehensive program. I've told you those satellite prisons which are decongesting the reception centers, and we shall continue to pursue that strategy.
Okay.
We think in the medium term, it will be, we shall have better living conditions within the prisons.
IGP, and the CGP, our time is really getting fast spent, but I would also like to find out from you, what lessons are you picking from the policing models that you've introduced during this election season, and also the interagency cooperation that you have had, because we still have elections all the way to the 6th. And are you giving the same comfort of security to Ugandans going forward up to the 6th? Because many tend to feel like after the presidential and parliamentary elections, we get into a sort of a lax mode because And yet, these other elections are even much more closer to the person in their jurisdictions.
Thank you, Mildred. I would like, you've asked about what lessons. I think life itself always presents situations for learning. But you begin with I think on our case, we begin with preparedness, which preparedness is even beyond the period of elections. When I talk about interagency, it's a long-standing arrangement. It's part of our security DNA in this country. And we have found it very, very useful. It gives us strength. And because we do it, we have been practicing it. It has continuously given us strength. And for example, as the leader of police, I've always known that my strength is beyond the police itself. My strength is here with my neighbor. My strength is with the UPDF and all other security organizations. And therefore, the intelligence even encourages the coordination, cooperation, leave alone the intra-coordination of within the police itself. But there is that practiced coordination within the organizations themselves. And this does not just begin with the task ahead of us. It's a continuous, it's a bond that is already established.
Yeah.
It's prevalent all the time. And therefore, we just fit in all the time, and that has helped us to continuously maintain security of this country. And that is a lesson learned out of the experience, right from the time it was started. It's quite an old arrangement, and we have found it very, very useful, and it has worked for us. It will continue to work for us, and as we continue practicing the interagency, there are a lot of lessons. That's why you find as we progress towards the many more tasks, we perform better. And those are the lessons. Even after these activities, we go back and sit and say, where did we perform very well? And where did we not perform very well? How do we make it better? Like now we are looking towards we have a very serious activity. That's the 26th Liberation Day is coming. All that must be handled under the intelligence arrangement. We have other activities, we have again the swearing in ceremony. We are alive to all that, and we continue to think together, to work together, but above all, having leadership. And that's what is very important. We continuously have the leadership. We know who plays what role. We know when there is an activity, who is supporting the other, and even the one being supported knows where to get support from. And I think that's quite a big strength. In fact, we even extend it beyond beyond the security forces, how do we interact with the people, the good intentioned people? How do we utilize that strength also? I've already said, but with a thank you to the people. But also observe that it is still work in progress.
Yeah.
We need to do better and enable the people of Uganda to achieve their aspirations. And I had not had this opportunity to talk to the people, to wish them a happy and prosperous new year.
Oh, definitely.
And that's my wish.
They have started off busy.
I thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much to the Commissioner General of Prisons and also to the Inspector General of Police. As a communicator, I wouldn't also go minus thank you to you both for your offices, giving us communicators who are already on standby. I know how many calls Mr. Kituma Rusoke does get on behalf of police to give us information. I don't know how many calls Mr. Frank Baine also does get, and they've always been very available for the media to give information as and when it is required. And I want to thank your officers for giving them that mandate, and for both of you today for sparing time off a busy schedule to come and speak to us.
Thank you.
And have a good evening to you. Definitely. That's it, that we had time to have a conversation with the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Basbia Kagaba, as well as